Welcome, everyone, to Mongols. This is our Charleston Battery Insider episode where we take a quick look at the Hounds' next opponent, the Battery. Joining me for this one is Mikey Buytas, representing one of the Battery supporters group, the Regiment. Mikey, thanks for joining me.
No problem. Thanks for having me, Mike.
Let's talk, let's get right into it about the Battery. You guys are close to leading the league in all of the major stats: first in shots, second in goals, first in clean sheets, first in passes, third in fouls. What's it been like to be a fan early in the season?
It's been great. Last year was a pretty good ride too, but year before that was pretty rough. Been a long time Battery fan, and I have to say that 2022 year was one I just as soon forget. But yeah, it's been great. I mean, it looks like everybody's clicking and everybody's on the right page. Pretty excited about what that means for the rest of the season. So overall, though, it's just been pretty good being a Battery fan this year.
What do you like best about this team?
Um, what would be probably the dynamic, like how dynamic they are. There's attack threats from all over the place. There's some really good midfield play. There's a lot of, it's kind of pretty to watch some of the little 1-2s with the balls. The defense has been pretty solid for the most part. So yeah, I think overall, I just really like how it's come together as a team, and I really like what Ben's doing, coaching wise, and you know, like the players say, they're really happy with playing for Ben, and I think that just is, it's a great thing for the Battery all around.
Oh, for sure. It makes me think a little bit. Last week we talked to a representative from Indy 11, who were on sort of they still are so on sort of like a similar high octane run. And when you ask them, what do you like most about it? It's like everything. Like it's hard to like pick out little pieces when the team is performing so well. Um, what do you? Let's do the flip side. Is there anything you don't like about this team?
Yeah, well, if I had to pick one thing, it'd probably be our depth of squad.
Mm,
You know, Greenwood's got that broken nose. I've heard a couple different rumors how long he's going to be out, how soon he's coming back. Um, Not to say, Kuzminska is not doing well for us in goal, but it's he's been playing really well for us this season, and anytime you have a change, like an injury like that, it kind of messes with the dynamic a little bit. I'm sure they both have their strengths and weaknesses, but it takes a little bit more time, I think, for the players to kind of get used to playing under a different, somebody behind them. So yeah, depth of squad, and then we just released La Cava over to San Antonio today. So our squad went from 19 to 18, I think. So it's not a very deep squad. But that said, I really feel like a lot of people in that we got 18 really good players. I think they can all step up and anybody can kind of jump into those shoes. So, um, but yeah, I'm just worried, we're gonna have a couple injuries. It's just, it's just part of the game. I think we're, guys get tired, they get muscle strains. Hopefully we don't have anybody out for too long, but that's probably my biggest fear is we're going to have a couple injuries start piling up as they do sometimes, and that's going to really kind of affect how we perform.
talk a little bit about you mentioned Lakava leaving. What were your thoughts on that? I mean, or is that more of a depth issue for you, or do you think it's going to impact the starting 11 in ways that I guess just give me your thoughts on it.
Well, I think Lakava, I mean, he's a great player from what I've seen of him. He hasn't got a lot of minutes. I think that may have been part of the reason. One of the other reasons I feel like we're a little fat up in the attacking part of the
Mm.
field. So this might be a move for the Battery to bring in a defender. So kind of looking at, I mean, I don't know if it'd be a one for one from San Antonio, but I was kind of looking at their roster and seeing who they had, like defense wise, that might come over because I feel defense is probably our least, the position with the least depth in it right now. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I'm happy for Lacava. I mean, anytime a player goes on, and we kind of saw with Tristan Traeger earlier in the season, he um, wanted to be out west, closer to his fiance, and the Battery was able to um, kind of make that happen for him, and you know, I was just glad he didn't play against us in Montreal when with Monterey Bay and score against us. You know, that's always the worst. So
Yeah.
we do have to face Jake coming up here against San Antonio in the future. So hopefully he won't come. It won't come back to bite us. So
Yeah, for sure. You mentioned Ben
yeah.
Pierman. Ever since he came in, seems to have flipped the club on its head, which is great. We'd love to see fellow Old Guard Shield club teams doing well. Talk a bit about what Ben has brought to the organization.
I don't know. I think it's just I've been trying to put a pin on it myself. A positive attitude to start with. He always talks about the character of not just having good players, but good people and good humans. So I think he kind of surrounds himself with people that want to do well, are willing to sacrifice maybe a little bit of their personal glory for the overall glory of the team. Um, he kind of I think also, he's flexible in the aspect that he, he doesn't have like a set style of play that he likes. He'll play to whatever the strengths are of the team at that time. So sometimes you'll see us slip into a three back, and if one of the guys is laboring a little bit, and you'll see him go back to four in the back, and things like that. It's just you see the wing players overlapping a lot. A lot of the midfield guys, it's like everybody knows their role. I think he's just overall, he just has a very clear vision. He's very honest with the players and stuff like that. So, and talking to a lot of the players, it's like Augie Williams said it last year. He's kind of coach that you just want to run through a brick wall for,
Mm,
and I think just conversations with Ben and stuff. He's just a great guy. So and his shoe game's on point. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I know he kind of likes to you know you notice he'll be wearing the same pair of kicks out there if we're on winning streaks. I noticed that. So
yeah, can't hurt, right?
yeah,
Um,
I'll take it. Whatever.
exactly. Yeah. You
I'm
you talked about
superstitious too, so
yeah, you talked a little bit about sort of the glut of good riches that you guys have up front. Markinich has 12 goals and 13 appearances for the team. That's definitely an area where the Hounds have been struggling in terms of, finding the right guys to put the balls in the net. Talk a little bit about Markinich. What's been his secret this year? Why is he so on fire?
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of it has a little bit the position he's playing this year. He's playing where Fidel Barajas played last year, out on the wing, and he's not so much up top. I think he benefits from kind of coming in and that the wing play, and then kind of doing a cut in from the left, and um, but with him and MD Myers up top, and then we've had the guys on the left been kind of rotating around between Arturo and Gutierrez and uh, Juan David Torres. So those three haven't really kind of got the numbers that MD and Nick have got, but Nick, it's just like I don't know what a secret is. It's just he's just out there scoring goals, and some of them he just makes look stupid easy, and
Yeah,
you're like, man, why didn't how did he do that?
yeah,
So um, he's had a couple games here without a goal. So I'm kind of thinking he's ready to score a couple more here in the near future. So
yeah. Hopefully not this weekend, but
yeah,
we'll see.
well,
Hopefully for me,
he
not
took a
this
little
weekend.
knock. He took a little knock against El Paso, and it kind of sat back in the Monterey game. So, I think his minutes have been kind of limited. But we've played a lot of games over a short period of time too. So
Yeah,
that's always rough on the body.
yeah. Our buddy Nato Santos was actually at Highmark Stadium for the Hounds' most recent game, but obviously he traded one black and gold kit for another this offseason. Tell
Yeah,
the Pittsburgh fans how Nate's been doing for you guys.
really good. I think he was out for a couple weeks with some injury. But season started off. I thought uh, Drake might him and DeSantos were going to kind of battle for that position, and Nate's been really good, really solid there in the back. Um, you know, and again, like I said, there's not a lot of depth, but I feel like it's not quite a one for one on some of those positions, but Nate brings a little bit more, a little different than what Josh brings, but I've been really happy with with DeSantos, and he's uh he's you know getting up and down the wings. He's quick getting back, and that's kind of the way we're playing right now. I think that's what Ben was looking for in the offseason was players like him to bring in and kind of, I don't want to say, like I mentioned earlier, he kind of adapts, but at the same time, he has an idea of what he wants, and if he can get those players, I mean, obviously it's working. So
Yeah.
um, hopefully it'll keep going.
I know a lot of Pittsburgh fans were disappointed to see Nate go. He was a fan favorite amongst the supporters group here. Speaking
Mhm.
of, you are a member of the regiment, but the Battery actually
Yeah.
have multiple supporters groups, which feels a bit unique for the USL. So, what's the relationship like between the groups, and why should people choose the regiment over the others?
Well, we have two main ones. We have the Bara, and then we have the regiment. Um, we kind of like there's no animosity between us. We're like, in fact, a lot of the bar guys have been regiment fans for a long time. A lot of regiment guys will hang out down in the bar inn. Um, but we typically, before the game, we tailgate together. A lot of times we'll march in together, and then it wasn't necessarily a request from the club, but we definitely um decided kind of like mutually, like we'll take one side, they take the other side,
Hmm,
so it's kind of like you've always got somebody behind the goalkeeper,
that's awesome.
so. And the bar brings a lot of drum style. We have drums, but none of us are like great drummers. It's more just to keep the beat when we're doing chants and things. So,
Yeah,
so the regiment's got more of the chant style. We have a lot more uh, what is a good word? Experienced supporters back there. So we're getting a little older. The regiment's been around since '99, and we've got some original members still standing there with us today. So, um, but yeah, so um, it's been great. So, like I said, on the away games, we kind of come together. We went to North Carolina for the first game of the season, and it was about 50 of us up there between the bar and the regiment, and then which isn't too bad for like a 4-hour drive. So uh, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've really been thinking the bar is bringing a lot of the energy this year with the drums, and they go full on for well, a couple games, 120 plus. So
yeah,
um, yeah, but it's a good relationship between us. Um, I don't know. I think, choosing one over the other is like, hey, whatever's best for you, as the individual. So um, we'll still hang out and have a couple beers in the parking lot beforehand. We'll grill up some food, and bar will bring some drums, and we'll get going before the game, and then go in together, and then they go around the stadium and set up on their end, and we set up on our end, and after the game we come back out to the parking lot and clean up the tailgate, hang out for a little bit, let everybody leave, and chat about the game. So it's been great. It's been a good season this year with them coming on late last year, and really taking it up a notch this year. So
that's awesome. I love it. That's what it's all about. The Hounds are in the process of trying to expand their stadium, and I just absolutely love the idea of having sort of a supporter section behind each goal. That would just
yeah,
be incredible. So really, really
I
cool.
mean, Rob, our owner, has been really great reaching out to us and being like, hey, we want to expand. They expanded the supporter section. They've taken a lot of suggestions from us about, initially it was supposed to be all bleacher seats, and now they're all standing,
Mhm.
seats behind the goal and on both the north and the south end. Um, they put the tunnel in underneath the supporter section this year, which has been kind of cool, and um, you know, I don't know how much it intimidates anybody, in at this level, but hopefully it gives us a little bit of edge,
For
some
sure.
players coming through there and stuff. And but it's been great. I think he Rob and the whole ownership group and all the staff and everything are super supportive, and they let us pretty much do what we want to do as long as we don't cross any lines, and yeah. So I mean, it's been real positive.
Awesome. Let's do it. So obviously, the Battery haven't fared as well the last two games, but have been on a massive hot streak, as I mentioned, leading the league in so many stat categories. Give me your score prediction for the Battery versus the Hounds this weekend. How do you think it plays out?
Oh, yeah. I always hate jinxing myself, with score predictions, but if if I have to put one out there, I'm gonna, of course, I'm gonna go 2-0 Battery. Nick's gonna get one, and then I think one of our defenders is due one from a set piece.
Don't
We
say
haven't
Dos
really had
Santos. Don't say Dos
well, I
Santos.
don't know. I was gonna say Archer. He always comes up for corners, him and Smith, and they're both, 6'5", 6'5" plus defenders back there, so corners, they've been close. They've just been snake bitten with um, excellent saves or um, woodwork or something like that. So, but I don't know. I'm gonna go 2-0.
That feels like a very fair and respectable shout to me, considering how the Hounds have been recently. So,
You
um,
guys got a pretty good defense. I feel like like we just need to
we
break it down. That's and Lily, and I tell you what, we've been playing Bob Lilly since he was with the the
the
Rhinos.
Rhinos, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like and he always finds a way, it
Yeah.
seems, so, uh,
Fingers crossed,
um,
man.
yeah, we'll see.
Mikey, this has been great. Let everybody know where they can find you and maybe stuff about the regiment online.
Yeah, so, we do have a pretty good presence on, social media. Facebook, The Regiment, Twitter, The Regiment 843, I think is what it is. I don't know. And then, Instagram, we're on there as well, but, I have to admit I'm not the greatest on Instagram, but, I try, but, I always kind of forget till after everything's over. I'm like, "Oh, I gotta take pictures," you know? But, but anyhow, yeah, so there, and then if they're ever in town, and anybody comes down for a match or anything like that, we're more than happy to have host you at the tailgate. Come by, have a beer, we'll chat before the game. We'll love you, and then we'll hate you for 90 minutes, and then, we'll come back out afterwards and complain about the referees and all the stuff we typically do. So, as fans, because at the end, we're all fans of Division II soccer in the U.S., and it's kind of hard to hate on other fans of other teams. So,
I absolutely love it. That's perfect. Perfect way to end it.
cool.
Mikey, really appreciate the time. Best of luck the rest of the season, just not this weekend, as I mentioned. And hopefully I'll talk to you again here in the future.
Yeah, no problem. Good to talk to you. And you guys, hopefully, I enjoy the game more than you.